Hi everyone. Now, as you can see here, I've got, this is basically one of the Dynamite Harry flies that I tied basically over the last 5 years, 2017. I remember it because I got the video on YouTube. I got asked if I could tie a Dynamite Harry. Now, it was like a couple of days later, time I looked it up on the internet, and I found Dynamite Harry, and I'd never heard of it to that point. It was January 2017. Now, obviously I tied some, and I filmed a kind of rough version of, compared to what I do now anyway, the fly. It worked. I mean, I caught fish on it. The first day I tried it, I remember trying it. It was a windy day, and it was quite hard to see the fly, and I put one of these flies on. It was an olive version. It was very similar to this one here, except it didn't have a tail, and it just fished really, really well. And I thought, geez, I've really got to tie a selection of these flies, and that's what I did. I just looked at, it was quite simple way of looking at it. I thought it was just to look at the patterns I had, tie it in that style. Favourites patterns, not every single fly, but favourites of the flies, especially down the river that I fish. So I basically went through the season. Now, this is the March Brown version, or one of them. There's two. The difference. This is the other one. The wing and the tail's the same. It's a mixture, a blend of cinnamon and brown. It's basically a polypro or a parapost. Any of those type of fibres, it will work. Arrow wing's another one. It works really well. So, but I tied one with an olive or yellow-like body, and a grizzle hackle, and the grizzle hackle is got, it's actually dyed, what do you call it, brown olive, a light brown olive. It's a colour I really like, and so I tied one like that, and I tied this one. But this does represent like the March Brown is close to the basically the patterns that we tie. Now, I'm going to show you the selection of flies. Now, I put a box of flies together, and this box of flies is it's for the monthly draw. I'll put a wee quick picture up so you can see it. You'll be looking at it just now, and within that, from the left to right, from the early season through to I mean, you could fish the ones in the bottom basically throughout the season. Depends on how the season's going and what species of flies coming off. But this is a kind of a snippet of the patterns that I tied or fished through a season, say for instance, and would get me normally by, and these did extremely well. So much so that it was very hard not to put one in the cast. That's what it got like. It was because they worked so well. So anyway, I thought, alright, I'll put in a box of these together, and in the monthly draw, I give a box of flies away each month, and I'll add this box to that selection. You can, whoever's number's drawn can either take this one or one of the others. So anyway, I just finished it, so I thought I would show you. This is the March Brown anyway. This is the March Brown pattern. The next one was basically this one here. And this is basically like a spring olive type, Galabatus if you want to call it, pattern. It's one I recently filmed, though it was tied with the CDC. There's the CDC version. I mean, I even did CDC versions. In this one you'll see the body. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's basically what's the remains of the feather and trimmed at the back. You'll see it on I'll put a link in the description below, and you'll see this version as well. So basically that's what that is, but with the antron or the parapost. And this is a dark dun parapost. Again, it's much the same as I did. This is gold, brown olive grizzle dyed with it's just a very pale colour. It's very little dye. It just throws that yellow, but grizzle was a great hackle. It gives the impression of, and spreads away at the fly. It gives the impression of the wing, the body. It does everything. It's a good fibre, and it's ideal for this style of fly. So, and the body's a quill. Now the quill, people ask me how I get the quill. There's no herl on one side. that's the natural quill itself. It's from the eye. It's actually from the eye. If you take one off from the eye, you'll see the quill and the herald on one side, and in the video you'll see how I actually wind it up. So basically, actually, if I was going to class it as a fly, I'd class it as a spring olive type pattern. Now, it's always good to have a light dun or a dark dun. This is a light dun version of that fly. Same fly, just it's done in grey. It's a grey version, grey day type fly. This is a light dun. Basically, you want to have a darker version as well. So another good one. And tie these in different sizes. Even this pattern, reduce them right down. They'll still work. Still into the kind of early season, but as I say, you can make them in any size. They'll still work throughout the season. This is the Greenrose version I did. Yellow thread, wee bit of basically it's hair's mask blend type, the thorax or grey, anything like that. Grey, yellow. This hair's got a dark grey with a kind of the Greenrose type hackle or furnace. If you use a furnace, in this case I use furnace. Got the black tips, black centre, brown. Works really well. And then we go for the Greenrose to the Yellow May. This one here. That's the Yellow May. You may have seen me fish this. Fished it a couple of ways. I fished it all these slightly different. I'm quite happy to fish one of these or fish this fly with another nymph, or even a wet off the bend. Call it piggyback. Especially when you're getting hatches are basically coming on and off, and you're covering areas where you've seen fish rise or stop rising. And if you've got a nymph or a wet, then it's quite easy just to tie a tippet onto the bend of this hook with just a normal knot, and then put a wet or a nymph on it, and it can be very productive. And being yellow, obviously you can see it. You can use any of the others. I have used the other ones again. So Yellow May is a great fly. It's just looking into May. I actually meant to put in this one, which is probably before it. This is the olive version now. This is the dark olive. You could use a light olive. Again, much like dark days, times work, whereas you want a lighter olive, so you have a blend, you have a mix. So, as I say, that's probably as close to the original one that I tied, without the tail. Then we go into, we'll get into, we could really, late April, beginning of May, mainly the beginning of May, the Granum. Now, the only thing that's missing here is a green tag at the back. But this would be a Granum pattern. Now, I've used a light ginger on this one. You could use a light grey or a rusty dun type hackle. That would be ideal for this fly. With this tied with the arrow wing in this case. This is the dark dun. So another great fly, but again, off the idea of the Dynamite Harry, I've got a cinnamon caddis, this one. Cinnamon caddis, a good fly, and these are all good for, you could piggyback off these. I mean, I've even put legs on a couple of them, tried. I don't have any tied, used them up. I mean, it's a great fun. You've got a style, experiment. That's what's the fun of tying your own flies. So that would be classed as a sort of light brown or a cinnamon caddis. And then, and depending, like usually when you've got May into June, you get a few black gnats about, even though it doesn't look like a black gnat. But I've got a tail on it. Now you can take the tail off, but I kept the tail on it and it still worked. It's just basically parapost, or what do you call it, polypro, black polypro, for the body and the wing like normal, and a grizzle hackle. And a wee bit of black dubbing there at the thorax. Great wee pattern, what a treat. And through the season, these will work right through, depending when the hatches are coming off. Suggestive patterns, like I had a video up recently where I was just a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks. I basically was fishing the grey duster. It's a variant of the grey duster, tied in the Dynamite Harry. The dark dun, with the mole's fur in the thorax, cockadillion tail. Absolutely, basically every fish I was catching, every casting to, sorry, I was catching with that wee fly, great. And then the other pattern, the two go together like in that style. The Larkin Grey. Again, this is a light dun though in the wing and the body. You can mess about with that, you can make it dark or light. The yellow can change, it could be much paler, it could be slightly darker. Grizzle hackle, Again, it could be badger as well, is another good one. So, but what's good for the badger one is we go into canis. Canis can drop by at some certain times of the year, depending on the river and the loch. Now these are 18s and 20s. This is a 20. It's got a wee badger hackle. It's basically just white. This case, this is arrow wing for the wing and the body, and it floats a treat, and it works really well. So there we are. That's the flies. That's the patterns there, and the flies are all together. I mean, I'll just drop the box up, come out a wee bit so you can see. Now, obviously some of the flies are on my desk, but this is the box here, all the patterns. There's not many segments is in there, 12. So anyway, there we are. And it's just, I'll be adding this, as I say, into the monthly draw. Another thing about these flies, I mean, just to give you an idea as well, I even tied large mayflies for our island. The spent gnat. This is the spent gnat. I think I filmed this one. I should have did. I filmed this. This is on YouTube. Again, you can see, it shows you can do it. And there's a spent gnat, and there's the dun coming off. I just don't have any tied. This is the large crocodile fibre. This is the whiting. It's very long. But when you see it wet, you'll see how the crocodile fibre blends into. This is the white. This is Polypro. It's quite a denser fibre if you get the Polypro, and it seems to work really well. This is a creamy one. I'll show you. If you use the arrow wing, it's much whiter. Now you can see that. Unless I picked up the wrong one. There are different ways of tying. I've actually got in these, I've got some crocodile fibre as well as a badger hackle. You can mess about with that style and the colours you like. Great flies, great style. And as I say, you can, the CDC version, which if you like the natural fibre, then you can obviously tie it that style. So there we are. That's I thought I would let you see the box. I know I'm blethering on a wee bit. Come around, you can see a bit better that side. You'll see the flies in there. Good fun. The next box I'm going to be probably tying a wet fly box. We'll see how it goes. Just a soft hackle flies, very popular. And again, I'll be adding that into the monthly draw as a choice. So anyway, there we are. I thought you'd like to see that. And again, if you enjoy the videos and you haven't subscribed, please do. It does help, and it helps the channel and shows that you're interested and people are keen to watch. And again, if you've got suggestions, just put it below. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and we can see how it goes. So anyway, thanks for watching, and that's the Dynamite Harrys.